Hey everyone, welcome to my craft room. I am Pam Savage, owner of Young at Heart Creations, and I am about to try to paint this cutting board. We're going to see what we can do with it. This is one of those, just going to kind of plan it as I go, so we'll see how it turns out. And I do want to warn you ahead of time, we've been waiting on a delivery. Mr. Pam had to buy a new phone. His quit working, and they've been supposed to deliver it all day long, and they said they would have it here by 7. It's still not here, so I'm sure as soon as we get really good and going and started in this, I'll get a knock at the door or the doorbell will ring. So I will have to get up and run get it because we have to sign for it. And Mr. Pam is on his way back, but he's not back from a meeting yet. So anyway, let's get started. How's everyone doing? Let me pull you up over here on my iPad so we can see comments. Let me pull you up over here. Yeah, let me turn the sound off. I don't want any sound. Turn this off. Hang on, let me see. There we go. Hi, Diana. Yes, please say hi as you come on. Hi, Marilyn. Hi, Gina. Okay, so this is a cutting board that Mr. Pam and I made, I think, last year. We cut it out and just haven't done anything with it. So I just put a quick little pattern on here. As y'all know, I have been getting ready for the craft show that's in Howell. Hi, Ashlyn. So the craft show is this Saturday, day after tomorrow, at the Howell High School in Howell, Texas. And that's, I live in Sherman, and then it's south is the next town. Howell is the next town, and that's where we go to church. Hi, Wanda. Hello. And so it is going to be from 9 to 5, and it's, I think, $2 to get in. And I think that's what they still charge. But anyway, if you come in, you'll come in the back entrance, and Mr. Pam and I you'll be facing the stage, and we will be on the left-hand side of the stage. I don't have near the product that I normally have, and I'm getting a lot of text messages from my brother. He's trying to get his laptop working, so I'm sorry if that's, and I don't think you can see it or anything about it, but anyway. So, normally I am frantic and trying to get everything ready still at the last minute. We've got everything loaded. We've got both vehicles loaded. Everything's ready to go. I just couldn't get as much painted this year because of the move and still trying to find some of my craft items that we have packed. And hi, Vinny. And so anyway, so I'm a little behind this year. I won't have near the product that I have, but we'll have enough to make it a good show. And so I've got time to paint. I thought, okay, I'm going to get another 2 items or more to paint. And so I decided to just paint on this cutting board. It's been painted white and then distressed with some dry brushing black on it. So I debated on what to put on it. I thought, okay, a Santa, a sunflower, I don't know. We're going to go for something simple, and I'm just going to do a snowman and gingerbread man. Don't know that I'll get it finished because it is going to be a little bit of a detailed one, but don't know if I'll get it finished before tonight's live is over, but we'll do what we can do. And if the doorbell rings, I will have to hop up and go answer it. So, all right, so let me make sure I'm seeing comments over here. Yes, okay, we got Cindy on. Okay, well, thanks for hopping on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring you down. Hi, Annette. Hello. If y'all are newbies, be sure and say that this is your first time to get to watch live. I just enjoy painting so much, and it's been 2 or 3 days since I've gotten to paint, so I was kind of having a little bit of withdrawals there. So since I had some extra time, I thought we're just going to go for it. Now, I've gone ahead and base coated the snowman and the little gingerbread guy in bleached sand, because this is mostly a white background. So I needed something to help this snowman pop from that background. So mostly so that the white would cover this black dry brushing, and then we'll do some shading and stuff to help it kind of come off the background. I debated on whether to just do a blue background and paint it, but I thought, no, I'm just going to go for it like it is. So we're going to go ahead and just it'll probably take a couple of coats of the white, but it would have taken 4 or 5 coats had I not base coated it in something that would cover up those black streaks. So I went ahead and got that done, and then I thought, I know I told them I probably would not be able to go live until next week, but if I'm going to paint, I can just paint with them, whether I get it finished or not. So I'm excited. We've got everything ready to go, and everything's priced except what I'm painting right now. So that's a good feeling to be ahead of the game a little bit. I got all of my family Christmas cards finished, got the letter finished, and the cards all addressed. I've just got to stick the letter in the cards and stick a stamp on them, and they're ready. So I'm excited about that. We contacted, are we going to get our Christmas lights up? Don't know if it'll be next week or the next one, but hope to get them, the outdoor ones, up next week. Not turn them on yet, but at least get them up before it gets really cold. Because we tend to have some cold weather just about the time I'm ready to put all the lights up. Now I'm just really getting a base on this, of this white. I can see where the sections are, because I did purposely leave a little bit of a ridge when I was basing it the other color. Hi, Mary. So I'll still be able to see where I need to do my shading. So we're going to dry this, and we'll put another coat of white on it. And I've been debating on snowflakes because they're white, so I thought I might do, what do you think about blue snowflakes? Have you ever seen anything painted with blue, with a different color snowflake than white? I'm sure I have. I just can't recall. But you know what? If it doesn't look good, we can always change it. Just paint. I don't know what my favorite thing is to paint. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you like best? Painting snowmen, Santas, gingerbread? What do you like painting most? And it's whatever I'm painting at the moment is what I like the most. I just enjoy it all. I really, really do. It's just so therapeutic. I'll be doing a lot of spinning. I am a directional painter, and so I hope I don't make you dizzy. Okay, let's dry that and get another coat on it. Reindeer, is that your favorite? I like to paint those too. I was just looking at one I painted a couple of years ago, a big one I've got hanging up there. And I don't take him to the craft shows. Some of the things I keep, because I can't stand for my walls to be bare in my craft room. I want something that I've done, or even if somebody else has done it, but I have to have some things left hanging on the wall. So I have started keeping a few things for myself. I don't like it bare. All right, let's get some more on here. Now that's going to be black over his head because I'm going to add to the white. This is a pattern I got a long time ago, but I'm going to change it up a little bit, but out of one of my books, and I should have looked up who it was. So I don't remember which book I got it out of. I would have to get them down and go through them and see which one it was, but I think I've painted it one other time and stuck right with the pattern. But this time I'm going to go a little bit different than what the pattern called for. And I can remember when, just thinking about getting off from the pattern would terrify me. If I didn't have a pattern right in front of me that I could easily follow. You just may as well hang it up because I was terrified to try it. Not anymore. It's kind of just the opposite now. I get a pattern and I go, okay, I got to make it my own. What can I do to change it up? We are, this craft show that we're going to, I helped organize it and found it 20-something years ago, and I set it up so that we could, all the vendors could come on Friday night or Saturday morning, either one, and set up your booth. So we always go on Friday evening and set it up. Well, tomorrow it is supposed to be storming, pouring down rain. So we will be unloading everything in the rain and storminess, it sounds like. It's always the second Saturday in November when we have it. We've had it 90-something degrees many times. We've had in the teens. We've had sleet and snow, rain, wind, tornado warnings. So we've had a little bit of everything. And somehow we always push through. So don't let a little rain and, well, the day of, Saturday, the day of the show, is supposed to be nice and clear. So that'll be good. Yeah, I may want to go ahead and put one more coat on this. We'll see. I just don't want it real streaky. Okay, let's try and see what we got. Okay, S-A-J-A, Saja. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome. Hello, Miss Roxy. Diana likes to paint snowmen. Okay, I've still got quite a bit of white out here, so just for good measure, I'm going to put one more coat on it, and then we should be good. So if you're close enough, we'd love for you to come to the craft show. You might get some good ideas or find some Christmas gifts. They will also have food. All of the proceeds from the food sales and the booth sales and the entrance admission fee, all of that goes to the band program, or music program, not just the band, but the music program for the Howe School District. We have purchased, with the funds that we've raised over the years, we've purchased new instruments for them, new uniforms. We've given several scholarships from the funds, so it's a very good cause. They are actually, I have not heard, but they are at, they may be on their way back, I'm not sure, or they may not have performed the final performance yet, but they are at state competition this weekend. I had 4 children, and they were all in the band, and each one of them got to go to state at least once, and a couple of them more than once, and they won a couple of times while my kids were in school. Won state championships, so we've been involved with the band for many years. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's give it a dry. Yep, I lost the comments there. Okay, so what is your name? The craft show is at the Howell High School inside at Howell, Texas. So it's about 60 miles north of Dallas. If you know where McKinney is, it's a couple of towns north of McKinney. And it's 2 towns south of the Red River. You'll go on Highway 75. And I believe it's exit 54. When you get to the high school, right now you really can't even see it because they are putting in new water lines for some housing additions, and they've got just mountains of dirt. Lots of dirt. I mean, it's covering almost the high school. You can't even hardly see anything there. Let's see, which one do I want to shade with? I think we'll try this one. So anyway, it's got a lot of work, dirt work going on. Okay, so this is Anita's Blue Fog, and I think I'm going to just do a little bit of shading. And I'm just putting a little bit of water around where I'm going to shade. I'm going to go ahead and shade the head, even though I'm going to probably come over it with black to make it look more like the little hat is sitting on his head. I mean, sitting over his head and not just sitting on top of it. So I thought this might give him a little bit of an icy blue color. Sometimes these smaller things, to me, are harder to paint than a large one, because you've got to do tiny eyes, a tiny nose. So sometimes they can, for me, they can be a little more challenging than doing a door hanger. Okay, running out of water. If your paint starts dragging or breaking up, that just means you need a little more moisture. Okay, so what do you think about that color? I think he looks pretty good. I think we'll go for it. And I'm just getting my brush wet. Now you don't want it drippy wet. And I am just dipping the corner of my brush. Sometimes I blend it a little bit on my palette. Sometimes I just go for it and blend it on the actual surface. I could also do this like in a deep midnight blue. Get a little more detailed on it, but down to the wire. Okay, and might go soften that just a little bit. I've just kind of, since we got everything loaded in the vehicles, I just kind of took it easy the rest of the day and worked on Christmas letter, got it finished, and once I finish here, I'll be stuffing the envelopes with Christmas cards for our family. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna like that color. So I'll be ahead of the game on that, but I got everything else ready. There's just so many things for a craft show that you have to take, and I only do one craft show a year. Now, sometimes I go on here and do a live sale. Maybe a couple of times a year I'll do that. But as far as craft show, this is the only craft show I do a year. I may be trying to do a different one next year. I'm not sure yet. But I'm only taking half the product that I normally take. So setup will be easier and faster, but I won't have as near the product to sell. But it's a big community event, and we just, everybody enjoys going and just catching up with each other. I know there's going to be some new vendors this year that for the first time that have not ever participated in it. I've talked to a couple of them. So there's just a little bit of everything there. Normally, the band kids are there on Friday night and Saturday morning to help everyone unload their trailers and vehicles and get their booth, everything to their booth, but they are gone. Competing, so I'm going to go under his neck there just a little more. And we'll go under his belly. Just to make it look a little more shadowy. Okay. All right, so there he is. That defined his little body. I am going to take some deep midnight blue. Love this color. There's the difference. And I'm going to do a base under here for some snow. And let's see where I cleaned my space up because I didn't think I was going to get to paint anymore. So I cleaned it all up, put everything up, and now I can't find anything. So I'm just going to make some snowmans here, and then we're going to go over it with white. But I'm going to want some of that blue to show through. Okay, so just put a little base down here. Doesn't have to be fancy because it's going to be painted over. We'll probably do some pouncing. But we'll do that snow last, but I wanted to give this time to dry really well before I start putting snow on it. Hi, Gina. All right, well, let's get that blue dry. Doesn't much look like snow right now, does it? But it will. Oh, Miss Gina, I've been looking at your puppies online. Tell me again what kind of puppies they are. They are beautiful. If I was in the market for a puppy, I would be over at your house in a heartbeat. They are so adorable. So pretty. Their markings are pretty, and whatever kind of dog it is, I can't remember. But the dog had 13 puppies. 13 puppies. Okay, while we're waiting on that to completely dry, let's go ahead and get our little ginger base coated. And I'm going to be using Honey Brown, Deco Art Honey Brown. Got some on my hand there. Let's see, we can probably use that one we used on the white. We'll see. If it's too big, we'll size down a little bit. I was telling everybody this next year, I am going to paint something Christmassy each month. At least one item, but hopefully more, so that I can get caught back up with my supplies and products. Because I would always rather take too much to a show and bring some back than to get there and run out and not have enough stock. And this board has got a little bit of chippiness to it, I guess you'd say. And I'm just going right over my lines where the pattern is, because we'll come back and we'll do some shading and separate his head from his body and his arms. And it'll take a second coat. And again, I didn't stick completely with the pattern. Just kind of used it as a guide. So I'm adding a little bit of water to my brush. So it was beginning to drag. Okay, I've got to leave that alone because it is wet paint and just wiping off what I just did when I go over it. Okay, let's give it a good dry. Hi, Heather. Well, hello, Miss Peggy. I struggle getting started early enough for Christmas. I know, we all do. So that's why I said I'm just going to start. I don't care what time of year it is. If I'm in the mood to paint Christmas, I'm going to paint Christmas. And then we'll do some shading with some, let's see, we'll probably use burnt umber. I wish I liked the taste of gingerbread, because it sounds like it'd be something fun at Christmas, but I can't even handle the smell of it. But I just think they're so cute. Okay, and I'm going to put one more coat on it and see what we get after this one. This board had a little bit of a finish on it. I sanded it a little bit before I got started, but it still has a little bit of a finish. Which causes you to have to put a couple of more coats on it. Hi, Tiffany. Oh, I need to do some cleaning here too. I got some laundry done. Got supper done. Got all of our loading done. Thank you so much for the hearts. If you are new on here, I am seeing some new names. Please hit that follow button. I'm at 1,884 followers, I think. So once I get to 1,900, I will take names from comments of the previous video that I did and put it in for a Happy Mail drawing. And then when I hit 2,000, we'll do a nice drawing, a special drawing for some Happy Mail. Okay, I think this third coat's going to do it. I wanted to at least get the base coating done on everything. And then if I have to, I can come back with you tomorrow and paint some details. I am just not a fast painter. Okay, I think that should work out. All right, let's give him one more good dry there. So I'm still seeing just a little bit down here. And you think you've got it covered, and then you dry it, and you can see some through it. And by the time we shade it and get the details on, the frosting on, you won't be able to see it anyway. Hopefully, okay, let's get a little bit of that burnt umber, which is just a darker brown. Hi, Miss Vicki. I am doing great, y'all. All right, let me get my angle brush. Defining that neck a little bit. I could do some dry brush highlighting on him, and I don't think we're going to get that detailed. Okay, let's do the shoulder and arm. Starting to take shape. When I do the lives at night, it gets shadowy. Even with these, I've got a ring light and then I've got an overhead light here. But it still gets so shadowy. Okay, just going over that a little bit to darken it up. Okay, y'all, I think that is our delivery man with David's phone. So I'm going to pull you up right quick. I've got to go sign for his new phone. So bear with me. I will be right back. Okay, that's what it was. And we were supposed to have to sign for it, but he did not have me sign, so we'll see if we got what we're supposed to get. I'll let Mr. David look at it. He's the one that ordered it. All right. You got to go help Christmas stuff out. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to put you back down here. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, Tiffany. Hi, Tammy. Hello, hello. All right, where were we? Okay, we are shading our little ginger. A little bit too much water on there. Okay, now I need to look and see how his legs go. Sorry for all the turning around. That's just the way I do it. I've seen some that can paint upside down and never turn it. It amazes me. Okay, so we're going to go right here under the arm to make it look like his knees. Make it look like he's sitting. Okay, I'll get it a little darker around his foot. Let me turn it because it's kind of weird the way it's having to hold it. Anybody on here got your tree up yet? We usually put ours up the day after Thanksgiving, but we go ahead and get all of our outside lights up and do a countdown and turn them on after our evening meal with all the kids and grandkids. Okay, I'm going to let that dry just a second before I try to do anything else on that one. Yeah, it is amazing how much just a little bit of shading brings it to life. If you are not, the technique is called floating. If you are doing it with a color darker than your base coat color, it's called shading. And if you're doing it lighter than your base coat color, you're highlighting. But the technique is called floating. And if you have not practiced and tried to do that yet, you have got to give it a try. It really adds so much to your piece. Let's make him a little belly here. Okay, and I want to get his foot a little bit darker. Okay, I think we're good there. And while I've got that burnt umber, let's go ahead and do the little branch. And I'm going to mix a little bit of that golden brown in with it, all at the same time. Let's get it a little bit lighter. And I'm using a little round brush. A little more of that burnt umber in there. Gives it a little bit of a streakiness, putting two different colors in there at the same time, just to give it a little bit of that wood grain look. And then we can go a little bit darker. I'm debating on what to put here. I'm thinking a Christmas tree maybe. I could do a wreath. Like I said, this tonight is just a guess as you go what I'm going to do. I mean, I'm guessing as I go what I'm going to do because I didn't really plan it out. I didn't think I was going to get to go live tonight. Okay, I think we're good there. Let me look at it. Okay, let's take a little bit of white and do some of the little rickrack. Sometimes I go all the way around the face, but I don't think I'm going to on this because it is so tiny. And we'll put some across his feet. Okay, let's go ahead and get black. Hi, Miss Charlie. You're decorating early this year? I've wanted to too, but we've got so much going on with this craft show, and then we've got a garage sale in 2 weeks. We've got an event at an evangelism seminar at church not this weekend because that's craft show, but the next weekend. So we've just got so much going on. Okay, I need some Rockwood Red for his, let's see what I did with it. Deep burgundy. There we go. For his little nose. Let's get that in place so we can place the eyes. So I'm going to do a frontward C and a backward C, or you can call them parentheses. And then we'll connect them with a little arch and just fill it in. And let's put in a couple of eyes here. I hear some thunder. Couple of eyebrows. And I'm using my little bitty liner brush to do this. Let's make him some little eyelashes. let's do just a little bit of cheeks in, let's do some pink cheeks. This is Cotton Candy. And I'm going to take a little makeup brush, Wet n Wild makeup brush. It's an angle makeup brush from Wet n Wild. I'm going to put some paint on, but then on my napkin, I want to get most of it off. Sometimes I do it on my hand. But let's make him some little, before we put the smile marks, let's put him some little rosy cheeks there. Okay, and he needs some little dots in his eyes. Let's make him looking in the direction of the snowman. And these are tiny little details. Thank you, Miss Roxy. Do you do notifications when you're going live? I just happened to scroll through. I usually put a message on my Facebook. I mean, I'll just put a post on my Facebook that I'm going live. But if you will click on the little bell where it says following, if you'll click on the little bell and then get all, let's see, what does it say? Get all live notifications, I believe is what it says. Or if you'll click on the 3 dots up at, usually at the top of your page, and then click on those 3 dots and then click on get all live notifications. It should notify you. You should get a little ding when I go live. That's white on my finger there. But you do have to be following my page. Okay, let's put a little belly, maybe a belly button. I'll wait on that. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, but I do want to do a little bit of a highlight here. And I want to fill in around okay, now we need to do, since we've got black, let's just go ahead and fill in his hat. And I'm going to go back to that little round brush. And I'm going to get it outlined, and then we will fill it in. We'll need to do in my hat band. And we'll do probably some gray, some of that zinc. Whoops, put it in the wrong color there. That's not going to work. For the underneath part of his brim. It amazes me how each little step just starts bringing it to life. Okay, so when the doorbell rang, I was asking if any of you have never tried the shading, the floating. What I want you to do, if you have not, is get out a piece of cardboard or paper sack or mixed media book and just make you some squares and circles or triangles or something and practice that shading. Or highlighting. It's actually called floating, but depending on the color you're using, darker or lighter than your piece, it will be your base coat color. It will be shading or highlighting, but the technique is floating. So if you have never tried it, I'm challenging you to try it with an angle brush or try it with a flat brush. And don't give up after just one or two tries. The secret is learning how much water to put. Not to put too much, but you need enough to get it to float, to fade out. You don't want a harsh line. Just want it kind of fadey looking. All right, let me get some gray. Let's use this zinc gray. Hi, Miss Linda. How are you? With an angle brush. Okay, that's fine. I've started using an angle brush way more than I use a flat brush to do it. I could not get it to work with an angle brush, and I just kept trying and kept trying. Now I prefer the angle brush. So it just depends on what you get used to and what works best for you. And again, a lot of people hold their brushes up here. I have to hold mine down here close like I'm writing with a pen or a pencil. Okay, so I'm just going to the inside of that brim, and it'll take a couple of coats. And I've got the hat band is also base coated in that bleached sand, so that I'm going to do a red hat band so that it will cover easier. I mean, much easier. Easier? No, it's actually a pattern that I got out of a, well, these two are patterned. Now, everything else is kind of free-handed that I'll do, and I've just changed the pattern up a little bit. I have some old magazines when everything used to be in pattern books, and that's what it's out of, but I cannot remember which book it's out of. I would have to dig it out and see which one I got it out of. I traced it. Okay, so I'm going to dry that and put one more coat. But see how doing it that different color makes that look more like the hat is sitting down on his head and not just laying on top of it. And then we'll go ahead and put a face on our Mr. Snowman. Now, my question to you at the beginning of the live was, since this has basically just an off-white background, white snowflakes are not going to show up very well. So what color would you do your snowflakes in? My thought was to do it in the color that I shaded him in, and that's Blue Fog, Anita's Blue Fog. I've never seen blue snowflakes painted on anything, but it is art. You can do whatever you want to. That's what I'm told. And I may do a little bitty Christmas tree here and a larger one here. Still haven't decided what I'm putting there yet either. So I'm going to go ahead and do a coat of red on that hat band so it'll be drying good. And I'm not using much paint at all. That's all we've used. Okay, and I'm going to use that round brush again. White shaded with blue. That would be pretty. I do have some 3D snowflakes. Some wooden ones that I could put on there, and we could do that. Okay, before I do that red, that black's going to need another coat on it. You would think black would cover with just one coat, but it can sure fool you after it dries. Let's get one more coat on that one. And we'll probably have to touch up once I put the red on it. We'll probably have to come back and touch up a little bit. We'll see how steady my hand is tonight. Maybe we won't. I did eat before I came on, so that I wouldn't get all shaky. Okay, let's dry that so I don't run my hand across it. And that would be pretty too. Blue or black. Oh, I never even thought about black snowflakes. Oh, I wish I was going to be at the live too. Yes, Leanne, pattern books are awesome. When we go on trips, I take them with me and I just look through them and look through them. I could just sit and look through them. I do sit and look through them for hours. I haven't gotten them out in a long time since our move. I love looking at them. Just enjoy it so much. But yes, Linda, I'm going to miss so much being at the live. But I'm very excited also about our evangelism seminar that we're having at church. There'll be a lot of people there, and the gentleman that's that is speaking is a really good speaker, and this course that he has is very helpful when studying with someone about Christ and the gospel. So I am super excited about the event. But I teased Tamara when I had all the intentions in the world of going to the live, and then we got the dates of this evangelism seminar, and this was the only time he could come, and it's the same weekend. So I called Tamara and I told her, I said, Tamara, I just want you to know that I've been spending all day long trying to decide between you and the Lord. And she said, what? Oh, and then I explained to her, and I said, of course the Lord won, but I just want you to know where you rank. So it was quite the joke for a while. But Mr. David is, he's an elder with our congregation, and so he's got a lot of responsibility helping with it and making sure everything goes smoothly. Everybody's taken care of. And all the women will be providing any refreshments and things of that nature. So we will have a busy weekend next weekend. Not this coming weekend. We'll be at the craft show this weekend. So it will be busy as well. And then, my goodness, Thanksgiving is just, what, 3.5 weeks away? It's only 7 weeks until Christmas. Okay, let's dry that and put one more little coat on it. I am also in the middle of all this working on some online courses, be like 3-day courses that you can sign up for. I haven't decided exactly on the patterns yet that we'll be doing, but trying to work all the logistics of that out. Okay, so I think that's enough on that. They're cute. They're so cute. I think we need some dry brushing in his belly. Let's do some maple sugar. Let's see if that'll give him a little bit of a highlight. And it's Ceramic Coat maple sugar, and it has not been used in probably 10 years. Don't know if I can even get it to come out. It's been in there a long, long time. Okay, I'm going to dry this brush off I just used a minute ago for dry brushing, and I'm going to get a little bit, I'm just going to dip right into this. So I'm going to really work it down into the brush. But then I'm going to, over here on my napkin, I'm going to wipe most of it off. Let's see if we can give him some highlights here. Some on his knees. And maybe his shoulders. You may not be able to see that online. But it just gave him that little, just enough of that golden look. I think that's just what he needed. Now if I can get the lid back on. There we go. Okay, let's work on this snowman's face. And let's do some coral. I'm going to put a little bit of coral down first before I put the orange on for his nose. And I'm just going to freehand his nose. I'm going to do a little C. And then some little bumps. And straight up we go. out to a point. Just going to fill it in, and then we'll go over it with, what did I grab? Jack-o'-lantern orange. Tiny little details. Okay, let's get that dry. And go over it with this brighter orange. And we'll put a couple of coats on it. That brightened it up. Okay, Gina, thank you. Oh, you will just love her, Wanda. You'll just love Miss Tamara. She's so down to earth. I'm really gonna miss my Charlie hugs. Charlie and I have a bond that I can't explain. She's just like one of my grandkids. And I am really gonna miss getting my hugs. She got on to me when she found out I wasn't going, but I explained to her why, and then she was okay. Okay, so there's his little nose. Let's do, I'm going to draw them on, his eyes on first. Let me sharpen my pencil right quick so I can get a good edge on it. All right, well, when I'm because his head's kind of tilted, so I'm going to do kind of a backward 6. Okay, those are a little bit too small. I want them a little larger. And then we're going to do a frontward 6. Kind of a teardrop shape. And then we'll do a mouth. And we'll need to do some buttons, and we'll get our snow on down here. I'm going to go ahead and do just some little highlights there on his hat. Okay, and I'm not going to come all the way down with the black on his eyes. Hard in these tiny little spots. do the same over here. Come down a little bit further. I'm not talking when I'm doing this tiny little work. Not breathing. Okay, so we got that. And let's put a little bit of that blue just right underneath the black. That same blue that we shaded him in. Okay, let's do some eyelashes. And we're just going to do right up the side. And then we'll put little dots in the eyes to bring him to life. Okay, I'm going to turn him around because I do better when I pull up. And out to the side. Okay, so there's his little eyes. And I didn't even give him any eyebrows. They're up under the hat. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's go in with some burnt orange. I'm gonna miss you too, Tammy. I hope Dolly makes a surprise appearance. Okay, I'm going to go over the little humps with some of that burnt orange. Typically I would shade it, but it's just so tiny that I am not going to try to do that. Okay, and I'm going to come in with some of that blue that we shaded it with. And go right around the back of that so it looks like it's kind of stuck inside the snow on the face. Okay, let's do some little cheeks. And we'll just use that same color of pink that we had. Get my brush out. I put it in the water. I thought I was done with it. Okay, so I'm loading it up. And then wiping it off. I'll put some of the cheeks showing underneath and right above that carrot nose. And let's do a little mouth. And I think, just trying to decide how I want to do the mouth. And I'll put a tiny little tongue in there. Let's make his mouth a little different. Okay, personality's starting to pop out. Okay, and I'm going to take a little bit of that coral and do a little bit of dry brushing on that red. Brush was still just a little bit wet. I'm going to do buttons last because I'm going to do some Christmassy, some snow. Let's see what I want to do the snow with. I've got to go through and get all my brushes where I can find them again. Okay, we'll just use this one. Remember, I do want some of that blue a little bit showing through, and then we're going to shade some little mounds on there that will help. Just give it some dimension. I may have some tiny little black real buttons in my button stash that I may put on him and use those. I didn't think to look for those before I got on here. So I am just pouncing, pouncing, pouncing. Sorry if I was out of camera. Turning it different ways. And that's that deep midnight blue under it. Okay, let's dry it, put another coat on it. Hi, Christy. Hello, hello. We were just talking about the essay live. Are you going? Hello, Miss Marie or Becca, whoever it is. Hello, my Becca, if you're listening. Okay, let's put some more got some twinkles here. We'll add a little bit of twinkle to it. Just using up what white I've got left, and then we'll put some twinkles. Well, we need to do some shading first. And I'm still thinking about the snowflakes, how I want to do those. And I'll see if I've got some real buttons to put on them. I'll have to get my button jar out, so probably have to do that after the live. Okay, let's dry that, and then let's do a little bit of shading. And let's do shading with that deep midnight blue. So I'm not going to get this wet, so I'm going to get a little bit of moisture on my brush. And I'm going to blend it just a little bit. And we're just going to make some mounds. Just real soft. Oops, I got into the red. Sorry, hang on just a second. I got into some red. There we go. And it just kind of gives it a little more of some dimension, some depth. See if you can see that. Let me soften a couple of them down just a little bit. Just going to go back over it with white where it was too harsh. Okay. Now let's put a little bit of glitter, a little bit of twinkle. In that snow. I'm just going to pounce a little bit here and there. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. Okay, so it's Marie. Yeah, I'm usually not on this late. But I got everything ready for the craft show early. And had some extra time. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to make something else to take. All right, so that'll give it just a little bit of glitter. We could even come around little bit with some. All right, there we go. Okay, let's do trying to think what kind I want to do here. This is one of those I'm just kind of guessing as I go. Hi, Miss Becca. Christy, you better hug everybody for me. It is so hard not to get to go. All right, let's draw this a little more so I don't get it everywhere. And let's do just a very simple little trunk here. I know, it's like not getting to see family at Christmas. Okay, so just did a little branch. Now, I can do it two different ways. So many different ways, but two ways I had in mind. I can make just the straight across little branches, or I can come down. That's probably going to be the easiest way, fastest way, so let's just do it that way rather than make individual pine needles, which will be cute, but we're not going for cute right now. We're going for fast. Okay, so let me get my greens out. I'm going to use Black Forest Green, Deco Art, and Hauser Light Green. And do I want to go up this, or do I want to go down like this? Let me think about this. Okay, we're going to go a little bit fatter around the brush. And we're just going to start. I'm just dipping in both colors at the same time. And then we're going to start over here. And I'm hoping it's going to look like a tree. We'll see. Let me scoot you over this way a little bit so you can see better. Just kind of playing with it. This is the trust the process moment I'm telling myself. No pressure, just live. Okay, now we need it to come to a point. And let me turn it around and look at it and see if it looks anything like a tree. Let's make them a little fatter down here. All right, let's see what we got. I think I want another one. No, I'll put a little more branch right there. Trunk. Okay, let me turn it around. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, let me make it a little bit fatter down here at the bottom. Just keep mixing those colors till you get them like you want them. We're going to put a little snow on it too, so that'll cover it up. Okay, let me see again. Okay, let's draw that. Now again, we could have done just the straight down trunk and straight across wood branches and put some little pine needles out, but that would have taken longer. Okay, now using that same brush that we just did the green with, let's put a little bit of snow on the tips. Just on some of them. Just to give it a little more shape. And just kind of break up those sections. And I'm doing it upside down, so it may not be completely even. Now, I can also go in and put some lights on it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and dot some buttons on there. Okay, we got red. Let's get some bright green and some navy blue. And we'll dot some little lights on there. Okay, let's do red first. And I'm just going to randomly place them wherever. And maybe put one right there. Let's put some green. I don't think I want the green. I think I meant to get yellow. Okay, let's use, this is Anita's hay. I think that'll be fun. And Anita's got a little bit different texture to it. Okay, now let's do some, this is ultramarine blue. It's a bright blue. Very bright blue. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some, I'm not going to worry about trying to find some real buttons. I'm just going to put some dots on for buttons. And we could make, I'm just running out of time here. But let's go ahead and do one of those, remember, I've still got to do snowflakes here. And I'm going to do a little shading probably around their bodies. Not sure yet. But in the original pattern, the gingerbread man was holding a heart over here. But I thought about him holding a peppermint or a candy cane, something like that, rather than a heart. So what do you think he should be handling or holding over here on this side? I could even do a little, one of those Christmas trees I was talking about where it's just a straight up branch and then straight branches across and do the little pine on that. Or I could do a gift. We could do a present. That might be pretty easy to do a gift on it, a gift box. Touch up this yellow dot here. Candy cane. Anita's paint. I used to get it at Hobby Lobby, but I don't think they sell it anymore. A star would be pretty too. I'll have to think about it. I may have to. I think Michael's may sell Anita's. And Joann's may sell Anita's, but I don't think Hobby Lobby does anymore. Okay, so instead of a tongue here, I'm just going to put a little white dot. In the snowman's mouth. I usually do tongues. We're just going to do a little dot, just a little something something. And we can do a little red tongue for gingerbread. Just the hint of a tongue. Doesn't have to be perfect. And let's put a little bit of that Tuscan red on there. Sounds like Mr. Pam's coming in, and he may not remember that I'm live, so if you hear him say, "Honey, I'm home," okay, so just a little bit of a tongue there. And we could even do him some little buttons. Let's do him some red buttons. Actually, we could do him some little peppermint buttons. A couple there. That'll add some color to him. Not completely round, but that's okay. Clean that one up a little bit. Okay, I put a little more white just so that red will show up better. And that way you've got the white all ready for the peppermint. Just do it, just a hint of peppermint here. And it's these little bitty details that just start making it jump out. And then I will outline it in there, but look at the difference, which is that little bitty button, the difference that makes. So I'm making a T. And then with each line, I'm just coming out and making a V and filling it in. Okay, and then I want to go around it. These are so tiny. A little more white back in this one. Now, these are much easier to do when they're larger. Okay, and then let's draw the buttons a little bit, put some buttonholes in there. And I want to come in with that blue that we shaded him with. Put some indentions there. You don't want to get those dots too hot or they'll cave in on you. So I'm just barely going to touch some white on there to look like buttonholes. Let's put a little bitty white highlight on his tongue. And I want to put a couple of little white dots on his cheeks. And once these dots dry, I'll do a little bit of highlighting on those dots. And I'm going to think about the snowflakes, how I want to do those. May do some splattering on him. But, and I think I may put a gift over here. I think I'm leaning towards a gift. And let's see, where was I going to fix that? I saw something I needed to fix and then I lost it there. Oh, I see it. Around that little peppermint. Hi, Miss Susie. The star might be cute. You know what? I think I may have some little wooden stars that I could put on here. So I'll go through and see what I've got. I don't know if you can see the snow glittering or not, but it's sparkly. All right, let me hold you up here. I know this isn't finished, but let's see what it would look like. Okay, I'm just gonna play a minute here. And let's see what it would look like with a little bit of blue. All right, let me bring you back down. I thought I was done, but you know me. Let's see what it looks like with a little bit of that blue that we shaded him with. May not look too swooped over this distressed look. Oh, I do like it. I do like it. And it just added a little bit of color to it. And just gives it a little frosty look. May not show it much on camera, but it changed the whole look of it as far as the background. So I'm going to come in a little bit darker with it. A little bit of moisture on there. And I'll come back and do a second coat. Definitely added to it. Okay, let me dry it just a little bit and come back around on this other side. You just never know what's gonna change it, ruin it, be the step that just makes it all come together. Just darkening it up in a little couple spots. Give it a little more of a wintry look. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. Definitely shows up really well here in person and added a lot to it. I think I want to go a little bit darker under his belly. I keep thinking that's a piece of brush, but it's a piece of the, I mean, it's just where the dry brushing is. I'm going to try this gray blue. This deep midnight blue under his belly and see if I like that. Yes. Okay, let's put a little more under his neck. Just doing some touch-ups. Okay, and I'll put a little more of that gray underneath his hat. But I do want some snow on his hat. So let's put some snow on the brim. Gotta be careful, those dots are still wet. And maybe a little bit here. And maybe a little bit on the brim. And some on his nose. Okay, once we get some highlights on those little lights, that will help as well. Thank you, Miss Vicky. So I'm going to look to see if I have some wooden stars, see what I've got over there in my stash. But I think, other than the snowflakes, if I do snowflakes, I think will be pretty much it. May have something coming down here with something hanging here. I don't know, but if I don't find a star, I may just put a package here, a gift. I'll think about it while I'm sleeping, I'm sure. But here's what we've got so far. So he's brightening up, but we definitely need to do some more filling in. I want to do something down here. I think I might put a present down here and a star here. So we'll see what we come up with. I'm not sure yet. But there he is for tonight. All right, ladies, I'm going to let you go. I heard Mr. Pam just come in, and so we're going to go watch a Christmas movie in there and relax. And I'll think about this while I'm watching the movie to see what I want to do with it. But thanks for hanging out with me. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Fingers crossed that we do really well at the craft show. Lots of storms coming in late tonight and tomorrow while we're trying to unload all of our crafts, but the day of is supposed to be really pretty. So I'm excited about that. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. If you have not hit that follow button, hit that follow button, and I would appreciate it if you would sprinkle the love of this video onto your media pages and help me get to 2,000. I'm so close to 2,000. Thank you, Linda. Okay, ladies, good night. Bye-bye.